Well, good morning. It's a very fresh morning here at Lindholme Lakes. We're here for the members winter match. We've got 33 anglers that are going to be competing here today. It's gone really cold. We're expecting it to be a slow start, but there's a great buzz around the match. Everyone's looking forward to it. It is an any method match. But first things first, we're going to have some breakfast, get the draw done, and the match times are going to be 10 until 3. That's it, lads. Time! Good luck, everyone. Well, we've been fishing about 25 minutes and there's only been a couple of 4-pound fish caught, a couple of small skimmers. Currently behind Tony, peg 79. This is his first fish. It's been slow on this back straight so far. A few anglers still waiting for the first bite. But obviously when it's tight like this, everyone's in it. Tony of Nicky French fame has kindly donated the cupcakes again and a coaching day. Looks like a nice F1 that one, Tony. Well done, mate. Tony's off the mark. So as I expected, it is a slow start. Well, we've been fishing just over an hour and as predicted it is a slow start. There's quite a few anglers that have caught now. There are still one or two that haven't caught yet. There's been a few, the odd carp caught in that 3 to 4 pound bracket, and then there's been some smaller F1s caught. On this bank, on the shop bank, we think Jim's winning it. Jim Adams is winning it up to now with about 10 pound. We're currently behind Andy. He's the first peg on this roadside as you come into the fishery, and he's got 5 fish now, which is doing absolutely brilliant with that. He's got 3 F1s and 2 carp, and he's admitting to about 10 pound. As we look towards his left, he's literally only seen 1 fish caught to his left. And whilst we've been here, we haven't seen a fish caught, so it's obviously hard over here, but Andy's doing really well with that weight. Starting to see the odd fish caught now, just approaching the 90-minute stage. 1 or 2 anglers just picking off the odd fish now. A lot of them are small F1s, but occasionally there's the odd better carp. As you can see, that cold wind's just hitting it on that side. But yeah, these are typical winter conditions. We're expecting it being tough. There's quite a few anglers now looking forward to their Sunday roast in the restaurant straight after the match. Well, we're 90 minutes in and these early pegs are really fishing hard. All the anglers here on this bank that you can see, 4 or 5 in a row down here, they haven't had a fish between them. But then as soon as you get onto this bank, the angler that's doing the best here is Tim. He's got 2 fish, he's got a carp and an F1. I think he's just fishing the bomb at the minute, so he's definitely doing best on these early pegs. So this is probably the hardest area in this first hour and a half. And then, as if by magic, he's had his first bite. He's off the mark. Well done, mate. He's waiting for the camera. He says he's over his feed area, he's getting a lot of fizzing. You know, there are bubbles coming up around his feed, so He's confident there's fish there. We actually run 2 of these matches each year. We have one in the summer, one in the winter, and they are open to any of the members of the Catch Fishing Channel. Some of the anglers here have driven 5 and 6 hours to get here, and a lot of them, it's the first time they've seen the fishery. Some have stayed right here on site, and it's just a great opportunity where we can obviously get to meet some of the members, meet them face to face, and hopefully enjoy a day's fishing as well. It just makes this aspect to following a channel like this, it just gives it that little bit more of a social aspect. Well, this is peg 34, and it looks like we might have a new leader. He's had a carp about £7, he's got that fish, and he's got an F1 to go with it as well. So he's admitting to about £15, which means he's leading this bank at the moment. It looks like he's fishing the bomb, that's what's working at the moment. Just going to that point of that island. It's obviously a bit shallower there, and I'm presuming he's loose feeding over the top of that, but he's definitely making it work at the moment. One of the best methods here at this time of year, bomb and pellet or bomb and corn. Yeah, it's just loose feeding a few over the top. Definitely seen signs of 1 or 2 fish waking up now. It's definitely better than it was. Not much has changed in the conditions, it's still the same. Still cold, not much wind at all. There's a bit of a breeze on it, but we are expecting the time of day and everything to change the way it's fishing. And obviously if that temperature rises a bit, then that can obviously usually help. Well done, mate. How many is that now?
Cheers, Jamie. Thank you.
How many is that you've got now?
2 now.
2.
2 and lost 1.
2 and lost 1. So what weight you got now, do you know?
Probably about 7 or 8 pounds.
7 or 8 pound. Brilliant, you're right in it with that. So it's really, really close now.
No blanking, so.
No blanking. 7 or 8 pound. Down there, we think the best was Jim with 10 pounds. So you can see how close it is. Well, I've only moved up 2 anglers. Peg 38. He just had a fish a few minutes ago. He's into another one now. Looks a decent fish. It's a brilliant spell at the moment, which is great to see it picking up. I don't know if it's picking up elsewhere, we'll find out, but for these 3 or 4 pegs here on this shop bank, seen 4 fish in quick succession. That's a good fish, proper carp. Well done, mate. 4 and lost 2. Sort of weight you got double figures then, aren't you? Easy.
No, 2 F1s for a pound.
Oh right, okay. 2 F1s for a pound. Don't need many when they're that size though, do you? Well, I've literally worked my way down about 4 or 5 pegs, and Jim's into one. Jim was admitting to £10 about 20 minutes ago. He's ticking over nicely. Just on a little method feeder. Is that to go with your £10 that, Jim?
What, Matt?
Is that to go with your £10 or have you had more than that now?
Well, I've got about £16.
£16?
I think I've got about £16.
Brilliant. Well done, mate. Well, we're over on 81 on this right hand bank. Just had a quick chat with Tony, who we saw catch one earlier. Give you an update on that in a second. Lovely. Is that your first one?
Yeah.
Brilliant, well done, mate. The peg to the right, or the angler to the right as well. He's into one. Definitely seen signs of it picking up. However, Tony is just casting out now. Looks like he's on a bomb. Just the point of that island, as you can see. This is peg 79. He's got 9 fish now, which is an absolutely brilliant fish count. What sort of weight did you say, Tony? About 14, 15 pound? 14?
7 F1s. You know, probably average what, £1.5 each, something
Yep.
like that, and then a small carp. Yeah, it's about £14, something like that.
Fantastic, mate.
Like that anyway.
Definitely doing the best on this bit here anyway. So he's right in it. And while I'm talking as well, Mark Deacon down there on the MPEG 85, he's actually fishing a waggler. He's just had one on it, and he's just netted a fish there as well. So it's good to see a bit of waggler fishing. These conditions are ideal for that. We've got helicopters and planes going over now. But as I'm over on this point area, he's chucked back out and he's gone straight round and he's hooked another one. He's gone all that time without anything, and then he's had literally 2 in 2 casts. Good fish then, mate, aren't they? Look at that. That's how quickly things can change. Gone all that time without anything. A 2 in 2 cast from nowhere. Well, we're at the 2 hour stage now, and you're just looking across at page 69. That's Stephen. And we've got him down as winning the match now. He's admitting to £22, but it's still very, very tight, very, very tight. Just had a quick chat with Jim, who was leading. He's now got about 20 to £21 now, so it's so close. But as we're seeing, 1 or 2 anglers that hadn't caught anything have literally just got 2 fish in 2 casts. There are at least 3 anglers that have caught 2 in 2 casts from nowhere, and they've got £10. So that's how quickly things can change. So at this stage, Stephen's winning it with £22, but there's literally, you know, nothing in it. We're back down at this bottom end now, just watching Andy at the moment, and he's I've just heard that he's been catching 1 or 2 while we've been gone. He was admitting to £10 early on, 5 fish for £10, but he has had some extra fish, so it sounds like it's definitely picked up, not only in one spot. You know, we are on the outer banks of the lake now, going down that section. Andy is the last angler in that section, so he's fishing against everybody to his left, so we'll get an update as we work his way around there. But it sounds like he's definitely going to be still winning that section. But we've also just found that here on peg 34, as you can probably see, peg 36 to his right is just netting a fish. And these two now have got about £20 each, so that tells you how close it really is. And we've still got half of the match to go. Looks like another F1. And it is into another fish. What we are seeing is quite a few anglers. I mean, to be fair, we've seen most fish caught on bomb tactics, to be fair. I've seen a few fish caught on bomb and bread. I haven't seen anyone catch on bomb and corn. I haven't seen anyone. There's been 1 or 2 fish caught on pellet as well. I've only seen a couple of fish caught on a method feeder. And I've only seen two fish caught on the pole, which is interesting. I mean, in these conditions, obviously, the pole, you know, you're able to fish a pole properly and present a bait properly, particularly if you're fishing pellets. But it's definitely rod and reel tactics that are dominating at the moment. So this is going to push him over £20. And it looks like it's a good fish too. Oh, looks like another proper carp. Those bonus fish are really going to make a difference today. Just having a look across now at peg 71, right on the point. This is the first fish we've seen him catch, but I think he has caught 1 or 2. It can be a fantastic area, but obviously everywhere's had a slow start today. This is the peg that's next, or he's the next angler to Stephen, who we think's definitely, well, he's definitely one of the leaders with £22. We're just into the second half of the match now. We're definitely going to be seeing some changes. You know, we don't know if the leader's going to continue catching, and sometimes those people that haven't caught fish can suddenly appear from somewhere. There are 1 or 2 anglers that, whilst they haven't caught anything yet, they're getting loads of liners, so they've obviously got fish in front of them. So if they suddenly switch on, they can easily get back into this, especially when it's such a low weight that's leading. We're at the halfway stage. We think about £25 is winning it. To some anglers that seems a hell of a lot. One or two anglers still haven't caught yet. They haven't even had a bite, some of them. Some of them who haven't caught are getting line bites, so that's telling them that there's fish there. But when there's just £25 winning it, obviously that could all change, you know. You could get that in 4 or 5 casts on here, and you know, as the day goes on, we are expecting it picking up. We think there are about 4 anglers between £20 and £25. And whilst quite a few anglers have just caught 1 or 2 small F1s, there are 1 or 2 anglers that have only had 2 bites, but they've got £10 because they've obviously caught bigger carp. But matches like this, particularly at this time of year, we know it's going to go right to the wire. Well, we're back over on the point just for a bit of an update. It's still quiet down here in this left hand corner as we look at it. We've got Sean down there. He's struggling. He got 3 fish after the first hour and a half, and now he hasn't caught since then. He's getting the odd line, an odd indication. We've got Heath down here on the left. He's still struggling, but he has been getting loads of liners. And then coming along this bank here, it's quite hard on this first bit here. As we get down there towards Bernie with his pigtails, he's just behind that tree. He had a couple of fish early on for £10, and then as we get further down there towards the point, that's where Stephen is. And then there's just been the odd fish being caught. I've just seen Tony there. Tony's just popping a fish in the landing net there, so he could have £20 now as well. And then Mark's had a few fish here on this end peg, but going into this final 2 hours, with this light is going to start going, and we're definitely expecting it to pick up. We're just here on peg 60 behind Bernie. He's only had 1 more fish, and I've just said to him, well, once they went, they've gone, but he's just said they haven't. Do you think they're still there?
Yeah. You can see
all the bubbles?
all the bubbles all over this.
Right.
But they're not congregated, they're just everywhere.
Right. Are you getting indications on your tip?
I've been getting a few, yeah.
Lots of bubbles coming up, lots of bubbles. But I have seen a lot on the other bank actually, opposite where Jim is. There was loads.
Little not.
You're getting little indications?
Yeah.
They're telling you that they're there, mate.
They are. It's getting them to...
Just need them to switch on, don't we?
Yeah.
Have you just snuck one in? How many is that you've got now?
6 carp and 3 F1s.
6 carp and 3 F1s? What sort of weight you got, do you know?
Give them the tenner. I must have £20.
You've definitely got £20. Brilliant. You're right in it with that then. Well, that's really turned around, hasn't it?
Ever since I went, I said to you about fishing that point.
Yeah.
I've had a bite chuck. I've just had to be patient.
Just going to that point?
Just going to that point and wait for a bite.
Right, just being patient, yeah.
I've had, up until the last 2 fish, they've all been carp.
Right.
Off that point.
Just a bomb. Just on that point, just been really patient with it. That's completely turned it around for him now. Right in it now with £20. And to his right, that is where our early leader is. So we're Stephen now. Any more, mate?
Couple straight down.
Has it?
Yeah.
So have you got £25 yet?
Probably.
Yeah, you had 22. Yeah, so you probably got £25.
Yeah, I've got 23 on my clicker.
23 on.
I underestimate my clicker.
You might as well. I'm not catching.
No curse of the camera for you at the minute, Keith. I'll not film you. Tony's just got another one as we walk past, so he's ticking over really nicely now. He's definitely got £20 plus, so he's right in it. He's just had a carp. He's just had that fish as well, so, and that was on bomb tactics as well. But there are ducks diving there now, which is causing a few problems in that shallow water for bait what's gone out there. But Keith's still struggling. Well, I've literally turned my back for a minute, and he says he was being patient, but he didn't have to be too patient on that one, because that's not been out there very long. What is it, an F1?
No, it's a carp.
Oh, is it a carp? Oh yeah. Brilliant, mate. Looks like there's 1 or 2 turned up there now just by fishing nice and patiently, mate. We're just down behind Mark Miller. He's had quite a slow start to the match. He's just netting a fish there. Looks like it's another F1. I think he got about 3 F1s last time I spoke to him. There are still a few anglers struggling down this bottom end. However, down in this corner, this is Andy, down here, the 2 anglers here on 34 and 36 I think it is, they are both admitting to 25 pound, possibly 27, which means that those 2 anglers plus Jim, who's been leading for a lot of the match, further down that bank, going back down towards the shop, there's 3 of them with about 27 pound. Has it picked up, Mark?
Yeah, I've just had one. I've had a little mirror.
You've had a little mirror?
No.
And what, you got some little F1s, did you say?
Yeah.
You got 10, 15, 10 pound?
No.
No, not yet.
No, not yet, mate.
Okay, mate, keep going. Well, we're over in the earlier numbers and it's really, really hard here. It's definitely the hardest section down here. Just right down there on the end, Andy is the last peg, or last angler in this section. He's doing the best. All these anglers down here are really, really struggling, can't get a bite. Tim there, he got a couple of fish early on and then that's it now, he's not caught since then. And then going round this bend and looking down towards the end peg, Stephen on that end peg 13, it's just literally one fish, one skimmer, you know, it's rock hard. Obviously there's you know, plenty of time for things to change, but it just doesn't really feel like this area is going to pick up. But obviously there's time for things to change, but this is definitely the hardest area today. Well, just working my way around the lake, you know, it's clear to see that you know, definitely the bomb approach has definitely been best so far. There has been the odd fish caught on a little method feeder, but it's all about the bomb fishing. I mean, we're in full winter mode now. I've seen 1 or 2 fish caught on bread, which is you know, can be a fantastic bait to use on here, particularly in winter when the water starts to go clear. But certainly on this first section, as you drive into the fishery, peg 13 down to 29, Andy's definitely winning that quite easily at the moment. That top end, the early numbers are really, really struggling. And then there's just been the odd fish caught down this shopper bank, if you want to call it that, from peg 34 onwards down into that corner where Chris is. We've got about 90 minutes left, but it's so close, and you know, there's literally about 5 or 6 anglers that are all leading or thereabouts, but there must be about another 10 anglers that are right behind them if they just catch a couple more fish. Well, I'm back over on the point with the noisy geese behind me. There's about an hour and 20 minutes left. Is that Aaron? I don't know if that Aaron's first. Is that your first fish?
First fish.
Oh, an hour and 20 minutes left, and Aaron,
Don't worry, I don't.
he's just had his first fish, but thankfully he's got one. But them opposite him are really, really struggling, even at these later stages. I'm just going to get an update now, what's been happening over here. I think Tony's had a couple more fish, and down on peg 83's been ticking over as well. Yeah, I mean, I expected 1 or 2 changes by now. I thought it might have picked up a bit more, but I'm just going to get a check-in now with these anglers on the point and find out what the potential winning weight is and who might be leading going into this final hour. Is it still ticking over?
Slow.
It's slow?
Every time I look at my watch and go, I'll give it another 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Tick goes round.
Does it? My watch should be worn out. What sort of weight do you think you've got now? Have you got 25, 30 pound?
Something like that, I suppose. I think I've had another 2-3 carp and another F1.
Another 2 or 3 carp and an F1, right, so you might be approaching 30 pound then. Oh, back over. Hey Stephen, any good, mate?
Yeah, it's gone completely dead.
Gone completely dead.
Yeah.
Did you get any more since last time we were here? So what you got? 25, 20, between 25 and 30? 25?
No, 25.
Okay, alright. It's still really close then. It's as though they just move out of the peg and then that's it, isn't it?
It's mental. I've got the float sitting there and they're bubbling all around it.
They're bubbling all around your float, are they?
Yeah.
Right.
I put a plummet on,
Yeah.
moving it through, and I can hit fish.
And you're hitting fish with it?
Hitting fish.
We'll have a quick check in with Keith. I haven't been near him this time. He doesn't like this camera because it brings him bad luck when he's playing fish. But
I'm already having bad luck, don't you worry about it.
You're already having bad luck. What you got, mate?
I've had 2 fish in the first hour and I haven't had a bite since.
Never. Right, what?
Tony, not fun.
He's Tony's into one again. That makes it even worse. That's rubbing salt in the wound.
Nothing on the feeder, no on the feeder.
He's feeding fish cupcakes. This is why I never draw next to Tony. If this is what he does to you. Man, we just avoid lakes, don't we, Tony? Well, Tony's
having a bit of open water in between.
Tony's
They're in between the islands, definitely.
ticking over nicely. He's catching in the gap between the islands. Sort of weight you got now, Tony? Any guesses?
I've no idea. All I know, I've got 16 fish,
16 fish.
and 3 of them are small carp, and the rest are F1s. It's just a matter of.
So you've got 20. You've got 25, haven't you, pound?
I would think so.
Yeah. Okay, mate. Another F1. So going into this, heading into this final hour, it looks like we've got about 5 anglers now that have got around about that £25 mark. So tight, isn't it? But I'm really hoping that this final hour is going to pick up because some of these people have travelled a long way to be here today, so it's been nice to at least see them catch a few fish. I'm sure that is going to happen. But 1 or 2 of the leaders that were leading over on this point, they've just stopped catching, you know. Lots of people saying there's lots of bubbles coming up around the feed and that, and you know, just speaking to Steve then, even when he puts a plummet on to check the depth of his swim when he's moving a plummet about, he's actually hitting fish. With the plummet, he can feel fish with it, you know, on his pole rig. So there's obviously fish there, but it's just a case of whether they're going to switch on. But 1 or 2 of the early leaders have slowed down now. They've not caught anything. However, there's been 1 or 2 that have just continued ticking over, like especially like Tony Chandler here. He's got 16 or 17 fish now, so he's got around £25. And there's another fish here being caught. So yeah, 60 minutes left, and it's wide open at the minute. We've got 45 minutes left and we're back in that first section, and it's still absolutely rock hard. For some reason this area just hasn't picked up whatsoever. Stephen on that MPEG on 13 thankfully has caught a fish. He's had 2 or 3 liners as well, I think, but that was literally an hour ago. There's just it's so quiet, there's just no signs of fish here now. Tim just down here, he had those 2 fish early on and he's literally not had a sign since. He's been dropping a bomb all over the swim and he's not getting any liners, no indications. And then the next 2 anglers going down that way, they haven't even caught yet. Absolutely rock hard this bit. And then you just get, in the space of a couple of pegs to the right, down towards where Mark is. Mark's got a few fish, and then next to him is Andy on the end, and he's got £20 plus, and that's the last peg in this section. So he's easily winning this section. But if his weight is right, if he's around that £25 to £30 mark, then he's definitely in contention. I've seen you sneaking them in. You got £30 now?
Yeah, I got 14 carp now.
14 carp?
That was the smallest that was.
Was it? Yeah. So you got £30 plus?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah? That's brilliant, that, mate. Just coming up to the final 30 minutes, and pretty sure this is the match winner. Opposite over there is Stephen. He's Steve caught early on, but then they just deserted him, just left him. But he was admitted to around 27 pound, that sort of a weight, so he may have caught in this last period. And there's lots of areas now that haven't really picked up as much as what we thought they were going to. I know there's over 30 minutes left. That light is just starting to go a little bit, but there's still about 5 anglers that it's really difficult to call at the minute. But at the moment, I definitely think the bomb fishing to that open water or in between the islands is definitely the way to go. As you can imagine, there's quite a few of the anglers really, that's particularly the ones that are struggling, that are really sticking it out. They're really looking forward to their Sunday lunch that they're going to be having afterwards. But what we also do on this match, and these 2 matches every year, is it's amazing how many people just donate a few things, any bits of tattle, what unwanted tattle or anything like that they donate, and we do actually just give them away at the end of the match. I think there's a couple of rods there as well, and 1 or 2 other things, and it's just great to see just nice gestures like that. You know, we all accumulate tattle that we're not going to use, and it's nice when we can pass them on to people that are going to really, you know, can use them. So after the match we will be doing that, and I just want to say another huge thank you to Nikki French and Tony Chandler at Sweet Temptations Cakes for donating all the cupcakes, and they've also donated a coaching day as well. It's a fantastic gesture, and it's great how these matches now, it's just really become a bit of a club for a lot of the anglers, and it's nice to see them all like this, and it'll be great to get them all weighed in so we can head in there and go and have some hot food together. How many fish, sorry, Tony?
About 21.
21 fish.
1 carp, about £6.
£30?
Oh yeah, easy now.
Easy £30. Right then. Well, I've got you in front then, mate, with that. He's going to get a swan line bite. I know, yeah. So I think Tony's in the lead, I'm pretty sure now with that. So, but there's still about 30 minutes left. Back over now towards the point, just see if there's been any changes over here. Can't see anyone playing fish at the minute. Has it slowed down a bit? Or have it? Yeah, has it?
I've bought myself a fish with changed to method, but that's all. I've had just one carp in that last hour.
Alright, so the bomb's been much better, hasn't it?
Yeah.
What have you got? So weight wise, do you know, 25, 30?
25, 30.
25 to 30. Right in it, mate, still. Well, there's literally only a few minutes left now, and it's, you know, it has been an absolute typical winter match on this style venue. You know, there have been some anglers that have caught a couple, and then once the fish have gone, they've gone. You know, they've moved anywhere. But I've spoken to 2 or 3 people now, and you know, the interesting thing is that they've literally gone about 2 or 3 hours without a fish. But every now and then they're casting in with a barm or a feeder, and they're actually hitting fish on the way down. And a few times they've picked up to reel in, and they've literally pulled into fish. So there's fish there, even in that first section where it's really hard. They're there, but they're obviously just laying there. If they were moving about, people would be getting liners, wouldn't they? But you know, that's winter fishing, and quite often those fish are off bottom as well. But everyone knows what to expect from today. You know, it's obviously these 2 consecutive frosts that we've had. It's typical winter fishing, but yeah, it looks like they've all enjoyed it. And literally going into these last few minutes, there's about 5 people. I think Tony's just winning it. Tony Chandler behind me. I think he's winning it. He's got over £30 now. But it's a while since I've been over to those pegs over on round peg 34, 36. It's a while since I've been over there, so I wouldn't be surprised if those have got over £30 now. But we knew it was going to go right to the wire. So I'm just going to fish out these last few minutes. And while I'm talking to you, Tony's into another one. Well, he's done absolutely fantastic. And the other thing as well is, when I came past him earlier, he was actually fishing with a small method feeder, not the bomb. So he's definitely caught the most on the method. But yeah, I think he's going to win it. Another one, Mr. Chandler.
Yes, it took it while I was tightening up.
Right. I'm just working my way around with the scales, heading round to peg 13, and he's got another one on. I don't know how many more of these he's had. Looks like it's another carp by the looks of it. I haven't seen it, but it's putting up a scrap. That's a good fish. Well done, mate. That could be winner, that one. Well, he's definitely one of the leaders. I think it was going to be between him and Tony for today to take the win, but that could quite easily be the winner. That's it, lads. Time! Stamp fish, look at them. Fantastic stamp. Oh yeah, easy. Well done, mate. I think that's going to win it. I think so anyway. 53.6. Fantastic net of fish today, mate. Well, I think some of those estimates were a little bit out, I would say. Some of those weights have been far better than what one or two people were saying. I think there's been one or two bits of misclicking there, but I thought I knew who the winner was, but there's been a bit of a surprise, and it's been a much better weight than we expected.